Okay, so quickly, I watched this movie and I didn't think it was that bad, but I went on IMDb to do some research on it and I saw the user rating was only at a 3.6 out of 10, and I thought that was kind of strange. I mean, this isn't like a great movie by any means, and I'll give you my review on it, but I thought, why is this so low? And then it dawned on me, because this kind of pissed me off too, and I think it may have pissed off a lot of viewers as well, and I'm going to tell you what it is after I play the intro. Hey guys, welcome to Happywax TV. Okay, I know that lead-in was absolutely terrible, so don't hold it against me. It's hard thinking up things to say before each intro, let me tell you. But anyways, okay, that aside, tonight we were talking about a movie from 2018 called Winterskin. I was actually looking forward to watching this movie a couple years ago when it first came out, and then I kind of forgot about it. But it is actually playing on Tubi TV right now, so you can go over there and watch it. Or if you want to rent it, you can go, I think it's on YouTube and Amazon Prime, you can rent it there as well. So anyways, it's directed by Charlie Steeds. I really like this guy. He is a great low-budget horror movie director. I kind of put him right up there with Rene Perez, who does the Havoc movies. If there's one thing you're guaranteed in this guy's movies, the same with Rene Perez, is there's going to be tons of practical gore, or as much as they can afford to do. I do like the fact that he doesn't go the CGI blood route. He more or less, you know, when people are getting stabbed or shot or whatever, it's practical blood, and I fucking love it. So, and in case you want to know what else he's done, he has done, well, actually, I'm still waiting for this movie to get released called The Barge People, which I did a trailer review for as well, which looks really, really good. And he also did Escape the Cannibal Farm, which was a gory, bloody mess and I thought that movie was fantastic too. So anyways, Winterskin. When I watched it, you know what I mean, and I'll get into it in a little bit, but I went on IMDb and it's only got a 3.6. And I thought, I wonder if everybody's thinking kind of the same thing I was too, okay? Because the poster for this movie is very misleading, or at least the original poster was, okay? So if you go on Tubi TV, okay, the poster they have up there is the original poster back when this movie came out a couple years ago, okay? And it's a guy holding a shotgun, or shooting a shotgun as these fucking creatures are breaking in through the windows, okay? And when I saw this poster years ago, like 2-3 years ago, when the movie first got, you know, was coming out and being promoted, I thought, this thing looks fucking great, you know what I mean? This guy is in an isolated cabin in the woods, and each night these creatures try and get at him. Well, after watching the movie, I can say, and again, I don't want to give spoilers, but I guess this is going to be a spoiler. That is not what this movie is about. Yes, that does happen, but not to the extent that the poster and the first synopsis may lead you to believe, okay? So if you go into this like I did, thinking that this is going to be a creature feature, it's not, okay? And I don't want to ruin the movie for you, because this movie is worth a watch, okay? But if you go to IMDb now and see the poster they have up for it now, this is a more realistic poster of this creaturey, skinless person that they have on the poster now. Okay, and again, I don't want to give spoilers, and even the synopsis is a little more, you know, realistic as to what the plot of the movie. So I think a lot of people may have watched this on Tubi or earlier. Do you know what I mean? And saw the poster and went in thinking creature feature, and then when they actually sat down and watch it, and what you're getting in this movie is more of a Stephen King's kind of Misery style movie, then maybe they were disappointed in it because they wanted to see some fucking ferocious creatures trying to get into this cabin, and for the vast majority of this movie that does not happen. So that's my theory as to why this has a 3.6. To give it a rating, and I know I haven't even told you anything about it yet, I would probably give this a 5, maybe a 5.5. Again, not a super high rating, but it's definitely watchable. The two main characters in this movie are David Lennox and Rowena Bentley, who play Billy Kavanaugh and Agnes. So basically, long story short, the opening act is Billy's out with his dad. They're going hunting in the woods. He accidentally gets shot, and then Agnes kind of saves him and brings him into her cabin in the woods and nurses him back to health. Okay, so this movie you know what I mean, it is pretty good, okay, but obviously there's things wrong with it. I mean, it's low budget horror, so we have to be forgiving, but I'm telling you, there are some things, and unfortunately it took me out of this movie early on. The first act is going to be the hardest to get through. If you can make it through the first act, this movie does pick up and start to make a little more sense and gets the ball rolling, you know, into the second act. And the third act, the finale of the third act, is low budget gold as far as I'm concerned. But the first act, you have to get through it, okay? Because, I mean, first of all, there's a lot of dialogue in this movie, and I mean a lot. So if you're going in expecting a creature feature, it's a fucking, you know what I mean? There's tons of dialogue. Like, I'm talking like Misery dialogue. It's almost like a cross between The Hateful Eight and Misery. I saw one other reviewer call it, and the dialogue, you know, not for the most part, but it's too long. It's way too long. And I'll tell you something else. Okay, so Agnes, okay, and they're really trying to push this Agnes, this Rowena Bentley as this old kind of, you know, old Agnes or you know, this old woman. Well, I'm telling you, man, she is absolutely stunning. So the whole time I'm watching this movie, I'm thinking, why does everyone keep comparing this woman to like an old hag or, you know, the old woman? I mean, yeah, she's a little bit older, but she's absolutely stunning. So it's hard to believe that, first of all, when you're looking at this beautiful older woman on screen and they're trying to play her up as this hag. So that ain't working, okay? And then if you think I say know what I mean, and people always bug me in the comment sections all the time about it, I know I say it a lot. I don't know if it's a twitch I have or whatever, but I realize, and I'm doing my best to stop, like, say it not as much. But the entirety of this movie, it's almost like every other word out of Agnes's mouth is the word child, okay? If you watch this movie, and I'm highly recommending watch this movie because it's not a 3.5. Watch it, but I'm telling you, if you were to have a shot of vodka, okay, every time she said the word child, you would be drunk within the first 15 minutes of this movie. Like every other word out of her mouth is child when she's talking to Billy Cavanaugh. I don't know, it didn't take me out of it, but I found myself focusing more on that, to seeing when she was going to say it again, as to, you know, more of what was going on in the dialogue. So I don't know, it was little things like that. Again, this is low budget horror movies, and again, Steeds does it the right way because most of his movies are mostly practical, and I respect that, and that's what this movie is. Honestly, I don't really think there was any CGI in this movie. So, and the other thing too is when he does show gunshots to the body or whatever, I mean, it's this huge fountain of real practical blood, and it's just those parts in the movie I thought were fantastic. And when we do actually see, you know, the creaturey thing that's on the poster, I mean, it's all practical. You know what I mean? So I got to give him props where props is due. I don't know if we could tweak this movie. I mean, it's only 80 minutes long, so it doesn't even have like a big runtime, but I don't know, man. If we could just tighten up the dialogue, and maybe, I know, again, low budget horror, if you could have just shortened some of the dialogue scenes and maybe just amped up a little bit more of the action scenes, you know, when we do get introduced to the creature, or when there's fight scenes in here between Agnes and Billy, or there's these other guys too. There's these three, I don't know if they're trackers or they're huntsmen, but they come out and they are looking for Billy, right? Because they know he's lost. Now, I am going to say straight up, the scenes that these three guys are in, all the scenes they're in are cringeworthy. And not because it's meant to be that way, but the acting for the most part is not very good. Okay, their acting and the way they communicate with each other is I mean, I'm just being honest, it's piss poor, and it really, those scenes are terrible. They really are. So the scenes with Agnes and Billy aren't that bad, if you know what I mean, compared to these three guys when they go from cabin to cabin, and the final scene, the dialogue it's just ridiculous, how they communicate with each other. It's like whatever. Anyways, those scenes, not very good. But they are in the final scene, and I will give props for the payoff and the final scenes of these movies, because it is a bloody, gory mess. And the third act of this movie is pretty fucking good. So, and it really did save it for me. Just because if there's one thing you can rely on with a Charlie Steeds movie is there's going to be lots of practical blood at some point. So anyways, I'm going to end it there. I don't want to say much about the second act and the third act. If I don't want to give too many spoilers away, so I'm just going to stop. So basically, I would say watch this movie, go rent it, or again, like I said, it's on Tubi TV. Give it a watch. To give it a rating, I'm going to give this one a 5.5. Again, it's a little bit long in the dialogue area, but when the action is happening, it's pretty good. Again, keep in mind, low budget horror, and this is for the most part a one location shot style movie where it's in this cabin. Okay, so give it a chance. Give it a chance. And again, it's been out since 2018. So if you have seen this movie, let me know what you thought of it. Okay, and if you haven't seen it, again, Tubi TV, go give it a watch. It's only 80 minutes. And come back and let me know what you think. And I know what some of you are going to say in the comments. Oh, I couldn't even get through the first act. I'm telling you, just get through the first act and give the second and then the third act definitely a chance. And you may actually end up liking this flick. So anyways, it's called Winterskin. Again, the original poster, a little misleading. The new poster they have up now for it is a little more truthful. Again, and that's probably why it's got such a bad rating on IMDb. I'm sure people were pissed off because of the poster, thinking it was like a straight up creature feature. So anyways, Winterskin, obviously it's out now. It's 2018. Let me know what you guys thought of it if you've seen it. And yeah, as always, guys, stay scared.